Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2021 Keystone Passport 2820BH. This is an awesome family RV, one of my more preferred setups if you're going to do just rear corner bunks and not have a bunk room. The reason being, it has excellent storage options. You have a TV across from the sofa, you still get the super slide, and it is nice and spacious. So let's start off with actually the super slide right over here. So as I mentioned, it has your trifold sofa, big U-shaped dinette, couple things that are definitely here to love that I think they nailed. And one of them is this. I have a straight shot to the TV. It's not a huge TV by any means, but it doesn't have to be. Because I have a good angle, it's nice and close, so you have a spot to kick back and relax. This love seat right here does fold out. It's a trifold sofa, so if you have additional guests that need a place to sleep, this is an excellent one for them. It can easily sleep one adult. If there's two and they want to snuggle, you can sleep two people here as well. You'll see windows all the way around the slide, nice and big, letting in lots of natural light. Good lighting above too. You have two LED lights above both the love seat here as well as the dinette. The dinette itself is a U-shaped dinette. Now, a lot of people are under the illusion you can sit more people at a U-shaped dinette, and that's generally not the case. Usually, it's still 3 to 4 people that can sit here because otherwise everyone's legs are jammed into each other. The reason that it is nice, though, is because, again, when you drop this down into a bed, you can sleep another adult here. So this RV does have a lot of sleeping options. I'll show you the bunks in the back in just a little bit. Also, I like the fact that you have the leatherette. For the back, I'm not too worried about it, but I like it for the seat because that way if you do spill anything, if you have younger kids, it's a lot easier to clean up. You also see underneath, you have this bright blue light. I'm not a super huge fan of the color blue. I wish it was a little more subtle. It's a little much for me, but I know it's not everyone's take. A lot of people really do like it. And also, you have an electrical outlet there, so if you need to get any work done, plug in like a tablet, laptop, something like that, you have the capability to do so. Also, you have easy access to storage. You can see that right there. And on the other side, you have the same door, but behind the door, you will see USB ports. So plenty of USB ports. If you're sitting on the sofa and you need to plug something in, that's where you would do it. The kitchen is all along the other side as well as the entertainment center. Now I will kind of start up on the wall here and show you the thermostat. This does run both the ducted AC as well as the ducted heat. Again, both of them through that thermostat makes it very simple and easy. Right underneath that, you will see your electrical outlet. Down underneath that, you can see your propane leak detector right here, and then a courtesy light. Again, it is blue, but the courtesy light's great because, you know, if you don't want it to be super bright in here, but you want just like kind of like a little night light, so if the kids have to get up and use the bathroom, or if you have to, you have some light there at night. You have a spice rack hanging out here, upgraded countertop. It's a seamless style countertop, but it's like a pressed laminate. The thing I like about this is that it does allow you to undermount the sink, and also, unlike a T-mold, it's not going to pop off or anything here in the corners. Less chance for any kind of water penetration. Nice big stainless steel bowl, which is great if you have some of those bigger dishes, a little bit easier to wash in there. You can see you have a pull-out residential style faucet. It is quite modern as far as the styling of it too. And then over to this side is a 3-burner cooktop. So this does have a glass cover, so you can utilize this as prep space. So, you know, you do have pretty good prep space right over here, in my opinion. I like that you have all this, you know, a little bit here, and then you have this here too. So all in all, it's pretty good. Fold that up and back. That kind of acts as your backsplash, because as you'll see, this one doesn't have one. I kind of wish they would have put something there. I think it would have, I mean, the kitchen looks great as it is, but I think it would have just helped define it a little bit more and really make it pop. But this does work for the most part for any kind of splatters. 3-burner cooktop, the front one being high output. The knobs do light up. You have a couple different options here. One of them is we have the knobs and the oven light. The other one's just the knobs. But if you take a look inside the oven there, you can see that if you need to bake anything, you can. Not a huge oven, but it is enough that if you need to bake like some muffins or cupcakes, you have the capability to do that. Underneath the oven is really good storage, excellent spot for pots and pans. However, that is offset by, in my opinion, probably the biggest fail of the floor plan, which is this right here. Wah, wah. I just wish there was more there, right? I wish I at least had enough space for a trash can, and it's really going to be tough to fit one in there. It'd have to be like one of like the long, slender ones that, you know, you normally use by like a washing and drying machine. Washer and dryer, and even then, I mean, what good's it going to do you for a kitchen? So that's probably the biggest fail of this floor plan, my personal opinion. You will see there's a light here to help lighten up the kitchen, brighten things up. And up top, I do like this though. So even though there's not a lot of storage down below, there is a lot right here up top, and they put a light in there. So, you know, which is good because this is pretty deep storage and it lets you see back there. Plus, the glass is frosted, so you can't see what's in there, but the light does kind of make that shine, or I don't know, light up a little bit, I guess. So it has a nicer aesthetic to it. Access to that same storage area over here to the side. Microwave hood with a light and a fan. And then over to this side, Dometic fridge freezer combo. Has the stainless looking panels on it. It's, you know, it's not true stainless, folks. But when you open that up, you can see that you have plenty of cold storage in there. That does run off both propane and electric, and also has automatic switchover. Before I get to the entertainment center, I do just want to point out some things on the ceiling. One is the fact it is a barreled ceiling. This is a big deal because, you know, we tend to spend a lot of time in our RVs, especially if we go on longer trips, especially when you have kids, right? Things tend to be that much smaller. But when you have this barreled ceiling, it feels nice and open, so you don't get that like closed in feeling, which I really like. You'll also see that for the most part, you have a couple rows of lights, you know, like right here. You know, they put another one over to the side. A lot of manufacturers don't do that. They'll just run one down the center. I like that they have a couple to help brighten things up. You also have a vent here in the kitchen, so that way if you need to get some smells out, if you're cooking bacon, even though I love the smell of bacon, eventually you want that out of your camper, that'll let you do that. Speaker in here too to listen to music. That, of course, the speakers are connected to this multimedia center right here, and that unit is Bluetooth capable. Right up above that, as I mentioned, your TV directly across from your sofa, kind of like we had in the kitchen. You have more storage up here, not huge though, but there is a light in there, so it looks nice. A little bit more storage down below. If we come around to the side, you will see the control panel lights, another courtesy light right here by the entryway, which is smart. And my favorite part about this floor plan is this right here. So what you lack in terms of storage in the kitchen area is definitely made up and then some by this huge pantry space. You have some coat hooks in there if you want to hang coats. There is enough space down below if you want to put your trash can in there, you can. I know some people do that in their pantry. I'm not a huge fan of having my trash can in my pantry. I mean, if it has a lid on it, no big deal. You know, you can put it in there. It's probably where I would put it. But again, that is a massive pantry space, tons of storage, which I like. Then in the back rear corner, double over double bunks. That's an industry term, basically just meaning they're double wide, right? They're nice and big bunks. 300-pound weight capacity. So as an adult, you can slide on up here. I'll jump in just to kind of show you. So at 6 foot tall, you can see here, I pretty much maxed it out, but I am still able to lay down, which is nice. So that way, you know, if it's not just kids, say you have like an adult weekend, you have some friends, something like that, it does give you that additional place to sleep. You'll see there's a ladder that is built in. This allows you to climb up onto the top rack nice and easily. I know that's obviously very self-evident, but this is one of those things that are often overlooked, right? Because generally it's the smaller kids that want to sleep on the top bunk, and this makes it a little bit harder to climb, or without this, it's harder to get up there. This definitely makes life much easier. The other thing I really like about Passport when it comes to bunks, if we move our privacy curtains, is this. You have a standard 110 outlet plus USB ports on not one, but both bunks. That's huge. When you're, you know, it's a rainy day, you want to make sure that everyone has their space to hang out, plug in their electronics, they can do that. If it's an adult and they sleep with a CPAP machine, you have a place you can plug that in, which is pretty cool. The bottom bunk, you'll see all the storage underneath. Much more importantly, however, is the ability to do this. Well, you have to normally move some stuff. So you have to, I have it, it's catching on the back. I'd have to open the door up and move this bunk. But the idea is the fact that this will fold up. So the thing that's really nice about that is this whole section right here, you can see the door. This whole thing is storage. So it's a great spot for kids' bikes, for totes. You know, if you want to stuff a kayak in here, right, you can do that. But it gives you the space for some of those much larger items, which I love. Making our way into the bathroom. Take a seat on the toilet. Kind of show you space. So as far as shoulder space, it's great. For leg space, my toes do touch. You know what I always tell people, when you have a bathroom set up like this, you can put your feet right up here. Kind of like a built-in squatty potty, right? Otherwise, it's not bad. Not the most space I've ever had, but it is sufficient here. Again, great on the shoulders. Sink top, Pretty standard stuff there. Electrical outlet underneath. You do have enough space for a small trash can, which I do like that. Might be a little tough to get in past the P-trap, but I think you can probably manage. Mirrored medicine cabinet there. You'll see up top you have your vent fan, couple LED lights, the tub shower. Couple things here too. One, I like having a tub when you have a bunk model, because if the kids are still taking a bath, it allows you to, or it gives you the ability to be able to give them a bath. Plus, it's a taller threshold. So when you have a curtain like this, your curtain's not falling all over, putting water all over your bathroom. And then as far as height, as I mentioned, folks, I'm 6 foot tall. Even without the skylight all the way in the corner, I can still stand up straight without bending down. With that skylight in the center here, you can probably be, 6'3" and still be able to stand up without having to bend over. So if that's a make it or break it point for you, do know that you have plenty of space in the bathroom. So you make your way up to the master bedroom. Slider pocket door to close things off. You have the queen bed here in the center. You'll see on both sides of the bed, I really like this as well. You have the nightstands, right? So these are actual true nightstands in the fact that it is a hard piece of wood. It's not, just going to be like a panel like some manufacturers use where, you put your hand on there and it falls through. These are very sturdy. You can also see you have electrical outlets there. So again, if you need to plug anything in, you have the capability to do that. Another thing I love about the bedroom in a Passport, probably one of my favorite things, is the fact this is a 60 by 80 residential size mattress, folks. So if you're sick of your feet hanging off, you're a taller person, this is the full 80-inch length, just like you would have at home. You have the decorative headboard, storage on the sides, mirrored doors on the wardrobe, a little bit of storage up top. Open that up. Not huge, but again, it's enough for socks and underwear. But you get this, which is great. You can take a look at that. That's something you normally don't get. Real big storage area right there. And a secondary entrance. Now, I like this for a couple of reasons. One, if you have guests sleeping, it allows you to enter and exit the RV without having to disturb them. And more importantly, it lets you get by, right? When you have that trifold opened up, it kind of comes out into the main living area. This makes it much easier to enter and exit the RV than having to try to maneuver by them. Last couple things I want to talk about before we head outside. One is the fact you do have a vent. And then Sam, if you want to flip around and show the people here, you will see this one also has a spot to mount the TV with the connections right up on the ceiling. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2021 Keystone Passport 2820BH. Starting off up front, folks, this makes it a world easier to hook up to your tow vehicle. This, of course, being a power tongue jack. All I have to do is simply flip the rocker switch here to raise and lower the tongue. You also have a light at night for added visibility if you're hooking up or disconnecting at night, and manual override in the rare event the motor does fail. Behind that, you will see two 20-pound propane tanks with the cover, rails here for your battery, and more importantly, over to this side, you will see this one has solar prep. So if you want solar, simply buy the portable panels. Zamp does have a couple different sizes. You can plug it in there, everything's pre-wired, and it'll trickle charge your battery. You have the diamond etch plating on the front, helping to protect that front end from rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. Then the beautiful 3/4 front cap with kind of like this faux windshield right here, which I like. It just gives it, a really nice look while traveling down the road. Coming around to the side, we'll open up the pass-through here. You will see it is a covered hinge, so you don't have a bunch of rust coming down your door. It's also a magnetic latch, so you can put it up just like so, which is great, because if kids are coming by, they go to shut it, and they drop it down, no big deal. There's no plastic tabs or anything that are going to break off. When you take a look inside the pass-through, you'll see a couple things. One's the fact it is a pretty good size space. You have a lot you're able to store in there. Also over to the side is a motion sensor light. And then right here, you will see the controls for your power stabilizer jack. So one will control the front two, the other will control the back two. If we drop down a second, you can see the power stabilizer jacks right there. While we're down here, a couple of things I want to point out is the fact this one does have a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly, which is great. So that way, if you're camping like later into the fall, you'll be good. It's probably not perfect for winter camping because you don't have heated holding tanks, and I don't know if the valves are insulated. We'll have to go check. I don't remember. They may be, but we'll double check on that. Also, this one does have a huck bolt frame, which is good. The thing about a huck bolt frame is the fact that it's easier to repair in the event it does get damaged. And it's been shown that the #1 spot that rusts are on the frame is ready to weld seams. So by reducing the amount of weld seams, you help reduce the chance of rust starting there. This is your secondary entrance. This is the one we saw into the bedroom. Because it is a secondary entrance, you have just a standard folding steps as well as a small grab handle here because you probably won't use it as often. You will also see the large power awning. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to go back in. LED light strip on there. A couple speakers underneath. Now those are connected to that multimedia center inside under the TV that I had showed you. But again, that unit is Bluetooth capable, so you can kind of control it from right out here. If you want a TV outside, this is where it will mount. They put a sticker there so you know exactly where to put that bracket. The connections for it are underneath. Because it is a Keystone product, it utilizes the Key TV system, which is one of the easiest ways to manage cable or satellite in the RV industry. Also electrical outlet right underneath that. And as this sticker shows, this one has load equalization axles. Essentially what that is, folks, it's a spread axle system. It's a little bit wider wheelbase, so it helps reduce sway while you're going down the road, so you get better overall tow experience. Also aluminum alloy wheels, so they're not going to rust on you. In the back, this is your primary entrance, and they did upgrade the steps as well as the grab handles. So you see the More Ride step above step system. Very solid, nice and easy to set up. Just folds right up into the doorway. Aluminum on the treads there. So again, those aren't going to rust. Plus grip tape, so a little bit of traction if it's wet. The feet here are easy to adjust. You have a pin. You just pop that out on both sides, put it back in when you have the feet where you want them. Then you get the larger foldable grab handle, which again helps give you a little bit of extra control when entering or exiting the RV. It also is worth mentioning that both the doors have the window on it. You can see it's like a crushed glass so that you can't see, you know, in or out, but it does let light in, which I like. So they have that on the bedroom as well to help make it a little bit brighter in there, which I certainly enjoy. Coming around to this side, we'll open this one up, or coming around to the back rather, I guess, backside, whatever you want to call it. Right back here is the rear kitchen. So you'll see you have storage there, electrical outlet, cooktop, right? Kind of flip that up, pull this guy out just like so. So a little 2-burner cooktop there. The propane line plugs in underneath. There's a quick connect underneath there. If we drop down, you can see that's located there. Now, bear in mind that you can use whatever you want there. If you have a grill that you like to bring with you, want to plug in, go for it. You'll also see here that this one has the fridge. So that's probably my favorite part about the outside kitchen. It gives you a spot to put beverages, beer, pop, juice, whatever else you want to throw in there. Outside shower with both hot and cold water access there. This is your Key TV input, essentially. It's what they call a multi-source controller. Basically, you take your cable line or your satellite, feed it right into there, and it feeds throughout the camper. This is a very important sticker I am glad they put on there. I actually just had a conversation with one of the fellow viewers the other day who was asking to verify that Passport had a walkable roof, because he was told that if it doesn't have a ladder, chances are it's not a walkable roof. And that is a pretty good standard to go by because if it's not a walkable roof, they're not going to put a ladder on it. That makes sense. But that being said, that's not always the case, and Passport is a perfect example. They did change this about probably 6-7 months ago, so it was a rolling change. But the easiest way to check is if it has power stabilizer jacks. All 2021s will have a walkable roof, but if it's a 2020, if it has power stabilizer jacks, it'll have a walkable roof. They made that change at the same time. There is a backer in the wall, so that if you want a ladder mounted on there, you can also have the ladder mounted, and that is exactly what that sticker is showing. Moving on though, so as I showed you when we were inside, this is the big storage area. There it is. This is what was holding me up. So this has to be in to be able to lift this up. Again, I would take the mattress off, throw it up top, but this, essentially you can fold this up and you will have all of that space right there to load it up. So it does give you a big space area, or a big area to put some of those items. I know I said a kayak. The door might not be wide enough for a kayak, but you can, again, still fit some pretty good sized items in there. Square tubular bumper with end caps that we have a spot to store your sewer hose, which is wonderful. You'll see right over here, spare tire is mounted. It's out of the way of the door. They also have a cover on there, help keep it in good shape. Having it mounted on the rear bumper is probably the easiest place to access it. Then if you take a look right up top, you'll also see that this one has backup camera prep. So if you want backup camera, having that prep up there makes it much easier to install, meaning it'll save you money on labor. Then on the off-camp side, you'll see your 30 amp detachable power cord will plug right in there. Black tank flush. This is super convenient. Great way to wash out your black tank. You want to make sure you do that every time you're done camping. But instead of having to stick a hose down your toilet and fill up the black tank and drain it out to do it, this is a much better system because there are sprayers built in that black tank. Just hook a hose right up here. Those sprayers will wash it, spray in there. It'll help wash toilet paper and stuff off of your sensors to make sure your sensors are reading right. Your termination is right down underneath. You can see both your black and gray tank valves. If you take a look in here, folks, you will see that the valves are insulated. Again, I probably wouldn't take this out in the middle of winter just because it's a little bit lighter RV, but if you're camping in the later season, you know, doing some late fall, early spring stuff, you will be just fine. Last thing I want to point out is right up here, your 2 water inlets. You'll see your city water inlet in the back. Your fresh tank fill will be right in front of that. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is a 2021 Keystone Passport 2820BH. If you're interested in this wonderful family RV and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Also in the comments section, let me know what you think they nailed, what they failed, or if you were designing this RV, what you would change. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.